This is the story of how I accidentally became a professional portrait photographer. At the end of last year, I moved to Toronto with my wife. My plan was to get back into advertising because I've spent the last couple of years working in tech, first for a startup in Amsterdam, and then I co-founded my own. I have several years of experience as a copywriter and then a creative director. I've won a few awards, and I have a somewhat reasonable body of work, so I thought, hey, I can just pick up where I left off. That absolutely did not happen because I've spent the last couple of months being rejected or ghosted from almost every agency in town. At this point, I'm starting to get a little bummed. I start questioning, what am I doing with my life? Have I completely ruined my career by leaving advertising? Should I just become an Uber driver? Would Uber even hire me? On top of all this, I haven't been creating. I haven't been coding, I haven't been writing, I haven't even been shooting. So I decided I'm going to try and get myself out of this funk by shooting some portraits, which are one of my favorite things to shoot. For years, I've shot friends, family, co-workers, basically anyone I can get in front of my camera for a few minutes. But I'm new to Toronto and I don't really know anyone, so I don't really have anyone to shoot a portrait of because there's only so many portraits my wife can endure. So around 1 a.m. on a whim, after reworking my portfolio for what must have been the 1000th time, I post on Reddit that I'm shooting free portraits in Toronto for anyone who wants one. And I share a link to a couple of my favorites. Then I went to bed, hoping that maybe one, maybe two people might be interested in a free portrait. The next morning while I was having a coffee, I checked Reddit and I was completely shocked and overwhelmed by the response. And also very, very humbled that so many people liked my work enough to want me to shoot their portrait. Now, I am aware that the internet loves nothing more than free stuff, and this was on my mind as an entirely sane, rational explanation to the outrageous number of responses I received. But as I started to go through the DMs and comments to organize shoot times, something really interesting happened. Mixed in with the hundreds of requests for a free portrait were real paid job offers for real money. Production companies, businesses, startup founders, and a whole bunch of strangers from the internet reached out and asked for my rate and my availability. This kind of confused me because not only did I not have a rate, but I also offered to shoot for free. But here I am with a handful of real paid job opportunities to do something that I legitimately love doing, yet have never considered doing professionally. As I've started to shoot these free portraits, something else interesting has happened. People have started to pay me small amounts for my work. So far, I've received a shelf, 1, 2, 3 now empty bottles of wine, a not so small bag of Lindt chocolate. I've been tipped, I've been bought coffee, and I've even had a dinner offer. Now, I'm still not 100% sure if this is because they actually like my work or it's just that Canadians are the nicest people ever. But this has inspired me to give shooting portraits professionally in 2023 a real go. Because if I can get paid a little by putting myself out there for free work, maybe there's a chance I can get paid enough not to starve to death by putting myself out there for real paid work. So I've just launched my new portrait portfolio at tristanvarney.com, and I'm going to keep documenting the journey to basically just see what happens. Now, I am 100% not prepared for this, but if I've learned anything from working in startups for the last couple of years is that the best way to launch anything and get something going is to launch too soon before you're ready and then figure things out and pivot as you go. But now that I think about it, the startup I built didn't really work out that well anyway, so perhaps this isn't the best advice. Wish me luck.